if I'm... Oh, hold on, I'm gonna try this. Nah. Where's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be up there. So, if I do this then... Yeah, I'm only capable of seeing that. Crap. Alright, I remember what I can do, because this is actually a Switch game. So I can actually unhook my chat and have it on my main screen. There we go. Simple solution. I am not someday gonna get a new screen, because this screen is absolutely old and stuff. I might actually use this screen for like chat and stuff, so I know when shit is happening. Oh, right, I forgot. Right, this is the voices I don't need to do. I'm glad for that. Because I just realized the voice I made for this guy. It's so fun each time I go in here, because I know I'm gonna make voices. Do I still have something to... Oh, hold on, there we go. Are you shitting me? Hold on. There we go. My drink. Okay, so I was like, I've been sitting a lot, so my hand has been like on the edge like this very often. So I thought like, I'm gonna try and just see if I actually pull this up a bit what's happening. The problem is like, now when it's even and I can be with a mouse and like everything a bit more comfortable, I cannot turn my chair because my desk thing is in the way. So I was literally like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll around. Shit. Oh, that was my bad. Okay. Hold on. How did I do his voice? It was like energetic and I don't know. Fuck, my brain freeze here. Hold on, I have to somehow just compose how the hell I'm supposed to do this. This is stupid. Okay. I think you may have a wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves were stretched to breaking point already. Oh, I see. You were scared. Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes? It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot. You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera. I'm trying to like not have his as the judge voice, because I feel I do that sometimes. Minimalism and humanism doesn't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, minimalism comes out of top. Ah. I think I said it before, but the reason he has an ink spot there is because of the ink being empty in this one. And I think that it's empty in that one because he needed to somehow get the ink out and get the poison out. This is not the poison, but it's like the reagent for the poison, so... I think that's what happened, because it's literally his pen. Look at his left arm. You're like, you can see that, and then you're like... Then we check the pen. I'm gonna actually check the pen so you can see yourself. You see? So it's the same mark. They believe, by the way, it's her pen. The one with defending, but nope. Nope, it's not. As a sculptor of stories, sometimes I must be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on. Surely he's making all this up. Well, he is writing stories. I shouldn't really say much about that. Who knows? He claims to have spied the whole affair from the start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating. But it does seem, though, he's holding something back, does it? If that's how you feel, I suggest you trust your instincts and press on him on everything he said. As you no doubt seen done many times. Yeah, I know. Wasn't that I just did? Did he, by the way, add something? I don't remember. So, the hut was made of that, yes. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, they pulled a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor, and she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journal spirit burst into flames quickly as a flash. I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna press a bit more here. Wait, hold. I'm just gonna check here first. Oh fuck, wait, hold. Just so we don't need to hear the flashing of the camera, because Jesus. So that's the beach hut plan. Yes, it must have been here. What do we have more? We have the knife. And that was in the back, yes. That's the article of poison being stolen. That must be the area he actually was at. I am gonna use one of my healths here. Nope. I know that because of the song. For those who haven't played this game before, or doesn't know that I have played these games before, I kinda know some of the mechanics, because many of the mechanics hasn't changed. For example, whenever I press, it becomes silent. Which means that's when I actually know what's going on. So I'm just gonna press here. The court is fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure. But why then did you choose to post a photograph anonymously to the police? Yeah, I remember we actually pressed about this one. I'm afraid I don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth. I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident. Think of me as a sculptor who makes art out of the sordid private details of other people's life. But I never discuss my own personal. Okay, yeah, that's bullshit. There has to be something. There is something, of course, or else this game would be unplayable. We already know that. But the two women inside didn't notice. Ah, obviously not. If they had, they would have been... Where would I be right now? In jail, that's where. But you think you would make you reflect on what you were doing? No, a journalist's job is to collect little snippets of life as unobtrustably as possible. Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on. It's a bit bad to leave footprints as well, to be honest. Yo, hello Gani! Welcome to the stream. I can see the chat now because I'm playing on the Switch. It is Susato. It's just that women cannot be in the court, and because it's her friend that is being defended and no one wants to defend her right now, she actually has to look like a male. She has to look like a guy. It needs to look like she has testosterone. I can agree, she's actually cute anyway. So, what has been happening is, if you remember last game, the first thing, you should remember this woman. If you remember the first game. Well, that's a way of saying it. I cannot fully disagree, at least in sometimes, because I know her now, and she doesn't look bad even in that. I'm a bit impressed that no one actually noticed who she is. Yeah, this one lady. So she's dead now. That's why no one wants to actually defend our friend. So she's the one that is dead. This is our friend that is being defended right now. Also, he was there. He has a turtle on his head and just bathing clothes. And he was there. So they say that she stabbed her with this knife because... Oh yeah, man, rest in pepperonis. So apparently we have this picture of her stabbing. We discussed that she might not have stabbed her, but instead taking out the knife, which is bad because it was actually on a lung, and she must have bled it out. But she knew about a poison that was actually taken from the institute, or the university. She noticed that this woman suffered from the symptoms, so that's why she pulled out the knife. Unfortunately, the knife doesn't have a poison on it. We know that because they tested with this chemical reagent. And the woman had this fountain pen with the RM initials, which is Ray Mbame. But here comes the fun part. I'm just gonna wait until this guy has spoken. Also, apparently he lost all his hair since the last game. He used to have a little bun thing there, but now it's like a little something. Okay, so I'm just gonna find a good... you see his left arm there? No, not this one. Hold on. Not this one. Can you... I'm trying to find a good place where actually... There we go. So, you see his arm. Oh yeah, I actually saw that on the Discord. I'm not gonna lie, I more or less followed directly. Is it just me, or does it actually feel like a lot of them is going over to Twitch? Because I'm pretty certain I saw some news information about Gura believes she might do the same thing. Like, this news thing was like a month or a few weeks old at least. Or a few weeks. It was in January, I know that. So I get the feeling that they might just be tired of YouTube, or they might just try to do both. I do wonder how that will work, because there is actually a Twitch TOS that you cannot publish things from Twitch until like 12 hours after. Wait, which channel name? Do you mean... Do you mean Oh, do you mean Gura's? I have no idea, because it was discussed that she might do that. It was discussed about that. But I don't know really. I do love you actually say that, like asking that. Yeah, like, weren't you the one that actually sent it into Discord? Wait a second. No, wait. How did I get there then? No, wait. This is a YouTube video. What the fuck? How did I get there? I didn't click anywhere. Hold on. I will actually send it in the public square. Just because. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm gonna be honest. When I pressed something on Discord, I got directly to her Twitch channel. So I was a bit confused with you asking about the channel name, because I never got to the YouTube channel. I got to the Twitch channel already. Somehow. So I thought you already knew what the name was for that. What the fuck? Okay, you have to excuse me. I got confused about that just because of the reason. Because for somehow I actually got to the Twitch channel very quickly, and I don't remember how. I literally just clicked on that and was like, oh, Twitch. There I am. Okay. So I sent it now in the Discord server. I do love our Discord server is so open, and I even take like other people's Twitch channels on there. I do love I in no reason can be able of focusing on me, even on a stream. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. I just spread a lot of love to other people. But yeah, you saw probably his left arm, so you see the mark here. It is not her. It is this guy's. Also, his name is kind of funny, because his name is... Could you... Shit, I pressed the wrong button. Fuck me. Whoops. I was supposed to go to people. I have already lost 2 lives now because of me just wanting to try something. Yikes. Hold on. Where is the people? I don't want to pre- Oh, because I'm not speaking. Fuck. Pee pee poo poo. Why pee pee poo poo? I understand probably why you want something like that, because what it sounds like, but still. Also, his name is Raiten Menimemo. Yeah, exactly. Pee pee poo poo. Pee pee poo poo. But yeah, his name is Raiten Menimemo. First, we only heard of his name as Menimemo, which sounded like many memos. I thought, like, that's kind of fun because he's a writer. And then I realized his name is Raiten Menimemo. Written many memo. He has written many memos. I do love the names in this game sometimes. It's like, some of them are just normal names. And then we have written many memo. Yeah, probably. Did my Discord just poop? I think it just beeped. Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure it's like... There we go. I don't have my streamer mode on. Also, I have to more or less check later. Because I might actually do a bit of an odd stream. 6 o'clock for me in the morning on Sunday. I'm just gonna speak more about it later. I don't know if it's actually... If it's gonna be cancelled or not, but we just have to check about that. I'm like, haven't gotten in to do the voices yet, so I'm trying to figure out first what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna press this again, anyway. Really? You didn't set your foot inside that hut at all? I think I've read this just before. Oh yeah. Yeah, breaking point. And yeah. The only thing you could do is stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot. So I believe this might be a spy or something. Because to be honest, he looks kind of British. So, or perhaps he's not British, it might be something else, but it doesn't look like he's from Japan. Yeah, I know, I already pressed everything. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do here right now. I'm just gonna press everything again. I'm gonna wait to do voices until I actually manage to find something, because I'm pretty certain I've done all of this already. Wait, I know about this. She actually does. I can actually agree on that. So, but yeah, I managed to figure out something about this guy, because there was some poison missing. We managed to find his pen, but the ink cartridge is empty. And as you can see on his hand, he has ink there. So I'm pretty certain that he took some poison using his pen. But to be able to either just silence the English woman or something alike, he used it on her. The knife, I don't know where it fully goes into the full thing, but I'm pretty certain it was in the pen at least. Yeah, they're talking about the poison because our friend believed that she actually stole the poison. Which doesn't surprise me. She already murdered someone. And it has like gone 6 months or 8 months or something like that. And only now she was going to be deported from Japan into like China somewhere. Because that's where the English British man is gonna just do something. I don't know. Probably just giving her a slap on the shoulder or something. So she has just gone freely around, just with a bit of extra safety around her, just to make sure that she doesn't do anything. But she got what she deserves, I can say, at least. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna check. So this is the photo we got from not from this guy, but we know it is from his camera. He sent it out secretively to the police. So yeah, that's a bit shady. We noticed that because of the crack in the lens you can see on the top right corner. And we also got the plan of the layout of the small beach hut where the victim was found. But I'm trying to like figure out what I'm gonna do there. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. I'm just gonna press everything. They say press, but for some reason my brain is like slowly just waking up to this now, so it's like I don't know what I'm doing. Just before this couch, I actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place. The precise moment, didn't just see that, I saw the whole hellish scene play out from start to finish. Yes, we have the plan. Many memo pad. Jesus, like he has so many memo moments, to be honest. It's like idiotic. Yeah, so first was the English woman. She was there. Yes. Then come our friend in. So she just like dropped her to the floor. And she stabbed her. So I think I know where he was. And I'm pretty certain he was over there. You can see the reeds being torn apart there. I think he was there. I got that at least. I'm pretty certain I'm supposed to use his own map as leverage to something. Because else I wouldn't need to press him that much. I don't know why I'm doing so badly today with this. What's with me today? I often, like, this is just a tutorial level. I feel like the last time I actually stopped playing this game, it was a bad moment to actually stop right here. I'm just fucking trying right now. I don't give a shit. I already lost a health before. And even if I would die, I haven't really gotten anywhere, so it doesn't matter. I have done everything. Because the only thing he says as a tip is press. And the only thing we pressed to get something was the map. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I don't know how, but somehow I just got into the game and was like, wait, what? What was I doing? Yeah, I know. Can I go to the options and actually just load the game instead of actually going through all this? There we go. Oh, I hope the autosave is not where I actually lost health. Jesus. Ooh, it kinda is actually. Hold on. I am just gonna... There we go. So yeah, he never set foot inside the hut. I've already pressed about everything here. A lot of gaps. Okay, so if I just press on here... He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating. But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it? If that's what you feel, I suggest that you trust your instinct and press him on everything he said. I'm pretty certain I just did that already, so I'm just gonna do that again. So yeah, journal instinct. We already talked about this, so... He was just after a young woman, but nope, apparently says no, he was not. I'm pretty certain I've actually pressed on everything. Did I press on the last thing as well? Really? You didn't set a foot inside... Oh yeah, I did. I actually did. I don't know what I'm doing actually. What the fuck? So literally, he claims... So if so, then press him. Which I did through every one of these. As you notice. And the only thing I find was this. The layout plan. Nope. I don't know. Help! I'm not joking. I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm looking for. The English one, I know that. So I'm just gonna... I have already pressed about this. Yep. Argument. Yeah, you stole it. I didn't. We have pressed about that today actually, and last time. And I know I've done that because I remember her saying that. Oh, and we're back to this shit. I wish I could actually skip this, but nope, we cannot. Bloody hell. Why am I so, like, not myself right now? And literally just... Ugh. Yeah, we know that. I'm like stuck with a hole. There are many holes in the reeds thing. So why didn't you do that? Yeah, so it literally just says, he doesn't say why he didn't actually do a journalism out of the picture. Okay, so I have everything. I need to present something. I just don't know where or what. Hmm. I'm gonna try something. It's gonna be wrong. I know that, but I have to try. Yeah. Ah! What's the matter with me today? Bloody hell. I have no idea what's going on now. Also, I feel like it's rather low with music. Hold on. There we go. Oh, what am I doing? The only thing, like, I have pressed, and this is what we got out. It is the layout. I am so stuck right now. The girl pulled out a knife, throwing the room to the floor and stabbed her in the back. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the... Yeah, and I have pressed everything. The only thing he says for me now is literally, if I find something, then press about it. And I have. I don't know. I am so stuck right now. It was a bad idea to actually stop playing after this last time, or before, like before everything was ended here, because I have no idea what's going on right now. Ah. Oh, fuck it. I have to. I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, Jesus. I just need one little thing here. There we go. So, invest... No, wait, that's... Is this the... That's the first game. No, is this the... Okay. Okay, so it's not this. It's the second game. There we go. I just need one thing here. One thing. Testimony, witness, cover up. Press statement 3. Statement 4. Wait a second. Courtroom break. Through to the left. Press statement 4 and add crime scene sketch. State payment 6 fountain pen. Wait, what? Oh, fucking hell, I'm so stupid. I literally was talking about the pen before, but I believe he never was inside of the hut. I thought you managed to grab it through the reeds and stuff, so I never thought of it to actually be inside. Oh my god, here we go. I literally had it in front of me and I was talking about it a lot of times, but I never actually occurred to me that it was because it was inside. Just that you managed to grab it from somewhere. That newspaper are in business of uncovering and publishing the truth. You're spot on there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of the Soyon News on my arm. In a way, that's more minimalism. Jesus. Sadly, though, it seems the journalism who write for those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth. What are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Counsel? Many memos, son. Do you recognize the fountain pen? Yeah, you recognize that now. This pen was found at the scene of Miss Brett's death. Not deaths. Brett's death, Jesus. In fact, the murder victim was gripping it in her hand as she died. What are you... If you look at the barrel of the pen, you'll notice that its owner's initial are engraved there. RM. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Counsel. The initials of the accused Ray Mbami. Is it a coincidence, I wonder, that your initials are also RM? No. Rate and many memo, RM. There's horse dog. Can't you see one of the central tenets of minimism? Minimism is being a pencil user. You say that with a big, like, ink blob on your goddamn hand, mate. And yet as the court will clearly be able to see on your right hand, there's a very obvious blue ink stain. It would appear that you must have rather carelessly left it somewhere recently. Your favorite fountain pen, that is. Horsta! Many memo-san. Is it not the case that before she died, you met with Jesselit Breath in that beach hut? Why would we listen to this absurd nonsense? It's nothing but another excuse. Exactly. Sure News will stand behind me all the way and deny everything. There must be many people with the initials RM, as there are stars in the night sky. The defense has neither the time nor the inclination to count every star in the sky. Huh? And there's no need anyway, because this pen has more to tell. Yes, there's another clue. A clue that undeniably proves who its owner really is. In that case, Counsel, the defense will now show the court where this alleged clue lies. Of course, Your Excellency. Yes, it's in the bottom. There we go. Boop! As well as initials, there is also an emblem on this fountain pen. An emblem that you will, of course, recognize, Many Memo-san. Yeah, because it's on your arm. Goodness me! It's the emblem of the Shoyun News. In other words, the owner of this pen is an employee of the Shoyun News, whose initials are RM. Suddenly, the stars in the sky doesn't seem to numerous, do they? Well, Many Memo-san, how do you respond? Yeah, so we managed to get him there, but I'm pretty certain he wasn't just in there. I'm pretty certain the poison is in there, and that's why there is a big-ass ink stain on his hand. Order! Witness, explain yourself. I'm glad we actually managed to get back on track now. I don't know why that was so stuck on me. So, this is how the mighty Serpent Supreme Court works, is it? Using corrective tactics, the well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets. I've used nothing but honest tactics. Alright then, fine. I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes. Not long before that grim tragedy unfolded, I, Shoyun News reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the English woman. An interview? You never mentioned this before. When exactly was this? As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face into the hut. It could not have lasted more than 2-3 minutes, that's all. It was just a brief exchange. But it came to nothing, and as many memoirisms say, the people don't pay their dues for unworthy news. However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under the oath of the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired. Got it. Yes, alright, but on one condition. Condition? In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about all this. I need to call back the earlier witnesses. Soseki Natsume-san. Soseki-san? Oh yes, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own, and brace yourself, because it's not a harmless one, it's big. Don't tell me it's about the murder in Britain, because that's actually kind of stupid. Many memoirism states that one man's secret is every other man's front page story. And my many memoirism says that you need to kick up the ass. Very well, I will grant the witness request in this instance. Officer, some of the earlier witnesses back to the stand. What is he hiding then? Oh, he's gotten nervous again. He wasn't nervous before. He was very posing and very like, yes, I've finally became famous, but he seems rather shady right now again. I asked the English woman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss. Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed, and the other witnesses come running. The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony, which is why many memoirism demands I reveal it now. And reveal it then. But you mean to say the victim... I was gonna do something here, hold on. Where was it? Which channel? There we go. How can I react? No. How the fuck do I react and stuff anyway? I don't even have a permission, but... Ah, no idea. I'm just checking for something for later. It's nothing to do with the stream. And when she did, you decided to ask her a question. Oh, that's true, yes. He did, and that was all. The woman gave him a very definite answer, an answer that incriminates the accused. But this is preposterous, sorry. Why am I not here? Why am I only hearing about this now? Why didn't you mention this before, you yokel hack? It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I posed withering English rose a question, I don't deny it. Why, she could no longer speak, she was barely conscious even. Counsel for the defense. I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. This court must will know the truth. Don't worry. Okay, it's just to press everything now. Hold it. As you asked her for an interview, you say? Well, of course I did. I wanted to ask her About the accident she was involved with at the end of last year. About the case in which Dr. J.H. Wilson lost his life. That's not the way I phrase it. Minimalism calls for straight talking. Why did you murder Dr. Wilson is how I put it to her. Yes, that sort of talking is straight as a ruler. Ask every question as if you were asking for a menu in a restaurant. I say it's the best way. A veteran at the paper taught me that. And how did Miss Brett answer? With one simple phrase. Mystery is a woman's charm. I do love that she literally just murdered. Everyone knows she's murdered, but she doesn't talk about it. Like, yeah, I'm such a good girl for doing that. Like, oh yeah, sure. Leave every room as it were after you were waltzing in a dance hall, I say. It's the best way. A veteran on the paper taught me that.
Hold it!
That was very persistent of you, considering that Miss Brett had just turned you away. Persistence wins the prize. And the memoist will tell you that. Jesus. Could you please not use that word? It's like the worst word I've tried to read. Let them think you're left, and then just when they lower their guard, that's when you swoop in for the scoop. And the fruits of your labor are too apparent in this telling photograph. Though I'm sure the young Jokel student would rather not be reminded of this damning evidence. Actually, it's thanks to that photograph that we managed to identify this witness. And now that you found me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I got nothing to hide. I'm sure. Please do go ahead, witness. The court is eager to hear what you have to say. Try to stop me. There's a story to tell, and I'm going to tell it.
Hold it!
And Soseki-san remain behind in the hut. That's right, yep. Our author friend here was a blabbering wreck, shaking all over from his head to his toes, mustache twitching, eyes bulging. What do you expect? You don't know the terrifying troubles that taunted me last while is traveling abroad. That's all I could think. I was like checking the chats, like, wait, what's popping up now? And like, sit on a moment. Ah, Jesus, I fucking love that though. That's all I could think. I felt as though I were grasping for air, drowning in a sea of cold sweat. Yay! Like, isn't supposed to have a timer. Hold on, I'm just gonna check it for fun. Mommy out of nowhere. Let's go there and stream elements. I'm just gonna go here and just check a bit quick, because I'm pretty certain I checked that last time, and it doesn't have a delay on it. As the world would seem to close in around me, I quietly recite a prayer to Amida Buddha. Not sutras are to resound in my courtroom, please. And now we come back to the crucial part. That's when it happened. And I am just gonna see. Oh, there we go. So chatbot, chat commands. So there we have the quote one. I can check that, and it's like command cost nothing, user cooldown nothing, global cooldown nothing. Like it doesn't have a cooldown or anything, but for some reason it's like doesn't want to do that quack. Why the fuck did I want to say quack so badly? Quick. What? What the fuck just happened? Why was I wanted to... Why did I want to say quack? Why I want to say quick? I have no... Probably. I have no fucking idea, but apparently I said quack. Fucking yeah. Oh god, I'm probably just tired.
Hold it.
Jesus. What question? What exactly did he say? Well now, you should hear it from the... You should hear that from the horse's mouth, I think. And to think, Mr. Writer Man. Out with it, you yokel hack! What is a yokel? Hold on, I hear that so often. Like, I'm as curious for when I played Lost Story and was called apparently dog or something. What the hell is a yokel? Unsophisticated country people. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to want to remember. Oh shit, speaking of tired, just remember I have school tomorrow. Yeah, go to... If you have school tomorrow, go to bed. I know how late it is. Go to bed. Sleep. Yeah, see you next stream, Granny. I'll be right here as normal. What did you say to her? What did you say to the dying English woman? Well, in truth, I've been catching crabs at the water edge and building castles in the sand, you see. Well, the seaside is a place to be leisure, I suppose, even for a grown man. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's kind of fun because I more or less have a sleep schedule, but I'm still tired. And then I heard all my other like team members and other streamers like yeah, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, but I'm just see it like that. Yeah, see you again. Night to you. But then all of a sudden, a little beach hut, a young girl's panicked, stricken cries for help pierced the air. I ran up to the beach to see what was happening, to find the defendant leaning over the collapsed victim. As soon as Inspector Honosaga saw his breath on the ground, he sprinted off to get help. And then just a moment later, I heard a faint moan. A moan from the dead Englishwoman. I nearly jumped out of my skin. But what did you ask her, Soseki-san? Probably what did you say? I asked her who this to you. Don't protect this any longer. How did the woman respond? She didn't. She said nothing in response. But... It's a fucking nerve-wrack right now. When in the stand, you will answer the question asked of this unambiguously. No, without evasion or reticence. I demand you that you amend your testimony. I will.
Hold it.
So you tried to find out who the culprit was? He who asks the question is a fool of a minute. He who does not remain a fool forever. And having been labeled a criminal twice during my time in Great... Twice? I'm worried about this dude. Twice? Better to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever. Yo! Hey, turtle girl! Welcome to the stream. However, you indicated that the victim was failed to respond. Is that correct? How are you today, turtle girl? I hope you have had a good day. I'm fine. I myself is fine. I'm just a bit knackered apparently because I have tried to do schoolwork. It got a bit stuck because I'm doing programming and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do right now. So I'm gonna wait for class tomorrow and just ask for help, because that's the only thing I can do right now. Yeah, same here, a very average day. I watched some of my teammates' streams. I have been just drawing a bit, playing a bit. As I said, trying to figure out stuff. Also, I did this one just before the stream, because I just wanted to do something, and I literally just like... I just added something, so I did this one. So I got myself King Spray on the Oculus, and I made it this is spray. I actually kind of like it. I think it's like hella adorable. Oh. Hold on, I'm gonna... Yeah, nope. I removed the fucking Elgato. Whoops. Hold on. Fucking remove the Elgato. Hold on. Jesus, I just deleted the whole fucking game. So I did that one. So that is an image of Yoko Pokemon's avatar she has. Yeah, so I've done that one, and I have done my own... I'm gonna say my own image, because I was actually asked from Yoko as well if it was a sketch of an avatar I was supposed to use or just for collabs. Because sometimes I actually do pop into Yokomo's streams and sometimes into Dariel's streams. And the only thing you see is literally my my Discord emblem, which is literally just the flag and the crown thing. And that's the thing you see, and then you just see all the other things. So I'm just sketching myself more or less, or a sort of myself. So that's more or less what's been my day today. Oh dear, Saseki-san has really developed a dislike for the English, it seems. Oh yeah, we probably just got back here directly. Also, I'm pretty curious. What was his second crime? Because it says it's been like pointed as a criminal twice already. So I have no idea what's going on here. Having read the report on his time in Great Britain, I can't say I'm surprised in his xenophobia. Oh yeah. It's still like work in progress. I'm actually kind of glad of how it came out, as much as I've done. Because the problem is I've done some on Photoshop, but then I thought like it didn't really look that good, so I changed into Clip Art Studio, because it also has these like 3D models that you can pose, and then you can use them as reference. So I actually used one of those as reference to how I was supposed to do this. And then I was just checking easily, like, how do I shade things? Like, how can I do an easy shading? Because I tried to do the thing I'm used to in Photoshop, and it just got so weird, and I couldn't really figure out how to do it. So apparently, clip art has blend. So I literally just took a pen, light on one side, dark on another, took blend, the main color, and then just blended everything. And I actually think it looks pretty nice after doing that. So I just need a bit of like extra stuff and a face. Technically a head and a face. I only have like an empty head right now. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna share it sometime whenever it's done. It's been a bit of a thing I just do now and then, because it would be fun to have something there, because my image looks so stupid around everything that's either person looking or something odd. I did a drawing of Kaya from Genshin Impact. Well, that's no problem. Like, it's always good with training. Like, I always say I'm shit, and I always say like, you get better whenever you train, but I never trained with some stuff, so it's always good to do something at least. Miss Brett pointed a finger at the defendant. Saseki-san, is that really true? Yeah, here's the fun part though. So there is only one place where the reeds actually are drawn apart. So we got a map last time that shows where the culprit is, which is here. You do whatever you wish. Like, I don't know if I have. Oh, well, I probably have an Instagram. I don't remember. I don't use it if I have one. But you do whatever you wish. You do whatever you wish. I might just see if I have an Instagram and just go in and check it, if so. But yeah, so here is the culprit. So she pointed at this direction. And if you actually check this... Hold on. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. So if you check this direction, you see this thing. So that's the hole where this photo is taken from. So she can actually be pointed towards this man over here. It's not easy to stand here and say this, but when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman was sprawled on the floor before us, with the student girl standing as far aside on her. When I asked who did this to you, the Englishwoman summoned her last ounce of strength to point a trembling finger at the back of the hut, which was, it can be denied in the direction of the student girl who stands accused today. Don't worry. Soseki-san, why on earth did you neglect to mention this in your original testimony? But, fiddlesticks, I say. This is not a British court of law. You will respond in Japanese. Yes, of course, the Englishwoman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but I was trembling, and she was trembling, and everything was blur. And I think about it, I feel as though perhaps she was pointing at a slight different direction. Actually, no, not slightly, in a very different direction, to where the student girl was standing. To somewhere at the back of the hut, where nobody was standing at all. I know exactly who was there. You mean that your memory of the events of the direction in which the victim was pointing are both unclear? Yes, that's it. Unclear. Very, very unclear. Please, could you stop saying that right now? Your Excellency, surely this proves the matter beyond all reasonable doubt. Yes, the woman may have barely been conscious, and yes, perhaps her finger wavered a bit, slightly. There can be no doubt that this was an attempt by the victim to confirm the identity of her assailant. Why? Because, as the court can see, there was no other than the accused in the direction the victim was pointing. This is now suddenly clear that no one beside the accused would have possibly have committed this crime. I am inclined to agree. And in the absence of any credible argument to the contrary, I believe we now conclude this trial. No, we have shit. The headline writes itself. Dashing lawyer hopes dashed. 92 points across the whole page, with an extra edition. This is serious. This is a serious blow, Susato. Unless we're able to identify the true culprit and sustain our claim with evidence, the judge will give us his ruling and the trial will be over. But that's impossible, Father. We don't even know how the crime was committed yet. Impossible though the task may seem, we have no choice. We must think back over everything. We must learn thus far. Yeah, many memo. Written many memo. Fucking brilliant name. I'm gonna be honest, all pun names in this game are brilliant. Ray gave us her account of how the events unfolded in the defendant's antechamber before the trial resumed. She told us what happened at the precise moment Miss Brest was killed. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. And then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. How could Miss Brett have been stabbed in the back in a beach hut that was empty but for herself and Ray? Yeah, because of the big hole in the wall. I take it then that the defense has nothing further to add. So, the gallant Jokel student, luck finally runs out. I can't say I'm surprised. In that case, I'm ready to deliver my final verdict on this matter. Also, I just searched up Jokel before. Apparently it's like a... What was the term? It's like a... Here we have it. A stereotype of unsophisticated country people. That's what a yokel is, apparently. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know how. How? It might just be like a term from Japan. Because it's literally kind of looks like it, I guess. I don't know. Does it say where it's from? Yeah, it's at the same time as something that was used in the early 19th century. So I guess it's like nothing that has been really been used because it's like nothing people say much any longer, to be honest. Your Excellency, I respect ask you to postpone your adjudication for the time being. Oh, to what ends, Counsel? The defense would like to present the court with an alternate theory. An alternate theory that can explain who the victim was actually trying to implicate with her dying gesture. An alternative theory? Huh, none exists. There was someone else present at the scene who could have committed this crime. What? And the victim, Miss Brett, tried to reveal who it was to those around her at the time, but mustering all her remaining strength and pointing a trembling finger in the killer's direction. This is fiction, fantasy. I do love that we actually know there is a third person at the premises of everything. He did say yes, he wasn't inside the hut, but he did say he was just directly outside the hut. And he literally just goes, it's fantasy, there was no one else there. There was. So, young Ryutaru Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. You will present your latest theory to the court by means of this plan. At the moment, the victim was stabbed. Exactly, are you proposing culprit was concealed? Well, technically out here. He was outside. He wasn't inside, he was actually outside. The true culprit who... Sorry, I thought something just jumped there at the screen for some reason. The true culprit who fatally stabbed Miss Brett was concealed in this location here. Are you mad, Counsel? You're suggesting culprit was outside the hut. Yeah, and now he starts to tremble because he was outside the hut. Order, everyone. But the student lawyer, Naruto's son Esquire, that makes no sense at all. You just pointed out the exact spot where I was hiding to get my scoop in this nap. I didn't see any suspicious individual loitering about, I can swear about that. Have you ever looked yourself in the mirror, mate? Jesus, you just pointed where I was and I did not see any strange person there. Like, are you having a laugh? Obviously, if the culprit had been outside the hut, there is no way that he or she would have stabbed the victim who was inside the hut. Actually, the prosecutor ouchie, there is a way. And in point of fact, the defense can prove the evidence strongly suggesting that is precisely the way Miss Brett was killed. You're bluffing. You're bluffing. You're bluffing. Absolutely bluffing. The defense assertion is clearly too fantastical for the court to comprehend. You will need to give us more guidance, Counsel. What precise evidence corroborates your theory? I'm gonna do this one, but I don't know if it is the right one, because I can see the hole there. The original photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, it's clearly visible in this print. The trace of a fatal thrust that was delivered from outside the beach hut. Do you take us for fools? There's no hint of any such thing. I'm not sure that everyone present would agree. Someone at least appears to have noticed what it is that I'm referring to. Counsel, once again, I must call you to be explicit for the court. Where on this photograph is a trace of the stabbing which you claim to took place from outside the hut? There.
Take that!
There is a hole. Look closely just here. In the screen at the back of the hut, you can see the effect of a blade having been forced through the reeds. No, I can't see any such thing. It's true that the hut in question had 4 walls, as you expect, however. By parting the reeds, a knife blade could easily penetrate them. This is extraordinary. Oh, Eren, welcome. I'm doing well. I would do normal. I've had an average day with a bit of schoolwork, not being capable of continuous schoolwork, but I have no idea what to do, and just sitting around sketching and doing other stuff. I hope your day or evening is alright, Jäger. Eren. I don't know. Sometimes I say Eren, sometimes I say Jäger. But yeah, I hope you are fine as well. The true culprit actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. And yes, I'm doing voices for this game, and my voice is just gonna be... Oof. Yikes. I don't have that many exams yet. I've had a few exams before. I was stressed last fall, because to get to a class I had to get a good grade in one of the things I just more or less couldn't get to. So I just tried my best to do that, and I managed. But yeah, good luck with those 4 exams. Jesus. Absolutely good luck. And for everyone present at the... I can understand that as well, to be honest. I'm just trying to do my best to more or less... Oh yeah. Absolutely. I thought it was actually third for semester, because the semester is literally also just a break for me. So when you say third semester, that more or less makes sense as well. I'm on my second year. I don't know why I had to think about that, but I'm on my second year as a technical artist. I thought it was not going to be so much programming as it is, but it is. Trying to program like DirectX 11 right now, and it's just... I'm gonna be honest, it's so fucking painful. Like, yeah, it's so difficult. I'm gonna have to get some help tomorrow from the teachers when we have class. Rated many memos, son. It could only have been you. Yeah, thank you so much for that. What was that for no? Now. This preposterous idea leaves me almost speechless just looking at the photograph again. You mean technical artist? Oh, 3D, you mean DirectX 11. It's graphical programming. It's literally to be able to tell the software through programming to render a 3D object in a world setting. I managed to do it to a flat, static plane that can manage to go like around and actually reflect light. But now we're gonna try to do a actual 3D thing. And we're gonna try and do it by implementing it so we can import it from a OBJ save, which is literally just like a 3D saving thing. So I think I managed to do so I can read it, but now we're just having to figure out how I can get the buffer to actually understand, okay, this is vertex 1, vertex 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and actually make that a 3D model. And I'm rather stuck on that because I cannot find any good thing at all for it. I'm sometimes good with programming, but not this kind of programming. Also, most of this program is literally just us finding the solution ourselves. Because last programming lessons we had, we literally like worked with the programming and like worked with teachers and like this is you do step by step. But this class has been more like, this is what we want you to do, here is the theory, good luck. So that's probably more or less why I do not know what to do, because we have never done it before, nor have I any idea what we're supposed to do. We're not. If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events just before the victim's death. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on the stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. A stool? Have another look at the photograph. Yeah, so the stool is right there. The slit in the read screen would align perfectly with the back of a person who was sitting in that stool. My word. So, in fact, the victim was killed while he's sitting on that stool by a stab wound to her back delivered through the read screen. Having been attacked, Miss Brett rose to her feet instinctively, but then, unable to speak, she collapsed on the floor in the middle of the hut. Before the defendant, Mbami-san appalled her eyes. Appalled? And that exactly, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on the day at the beach. At the beach that day, Jesus. I don't know why, but it's like around 5, 6 o'clock and stuff like that, my brain just shuts down. I was trying to say quick before, and I said quack. I literally said quack. I don't know why. I take it that you don't deny the charge. This is absolutely absurd. That will do. It would appear that we have a tacit admission of guilt from the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of this matter, which means that the defendant, Mbami-san, is innocent of the crime. It's not over because it has been a lot of stabbing, about the stabbing today, but we still have to deal with the poison. It's from the pen. I am pretty certain because, for first of all, this pen is empty. It doesn't have any ink in the container, and he has a big ass ink spot on his right hand. And there was only a small amount of poison missing, and I'm pretty certain that that is where it was stored and taken. So technically I cannot do this right now. Can I actually do this? Hold on, can I use this or something? There's nothing out of the difference here. Technically I want to use it, but that has to be for later. I must say, I've never been more proud. No, this can't be. Like, Ouchi Clan can't. What am I growth? My growth of hope. Yes, so he calls his little hair bun a growth of hope, because he used to have more hair before. It wasn't at all an aberration. I can't accept it. I won't. I see no reason for the continuance of this trial. I will therefore move to conclude the proceedings by the... Let me guess, Minimemo has something to say. Well, this is all very convenient. This is how the highest court in our mighty empire deal with justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens' freedom to speak and branding them as criminals. But we established that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut through the reeds of the screen walls. And no one but you was placed at the time. Placed at the time to have his hands on the hilt of the blade. Sometimes I feel I don't really read well right now. It's a perfectly logical deduction. So, your argument hinges on the location of whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it? I wanted to lose it. Something I really enjoy with these games is when, especially when they do the absolutely ridiculous losses. For example, I hope they do remake the other games as well, but there was this I don't know, monk just playing a sitar or something just calmly, and when he just loses it, he just started playing fucking bloody hard rock or something. Bloody love it. Irrelevant. Wherever she was stabbed, how she was stabbed, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference, you think about it. After all, this trial already showed the whole thing hangs on something else. On what? I'm guessing he's... Probably, actually, he might do that. Either that, or he's gonna slap his steel nipples very hard with those... What do you call them in English? His straps. Either his straps or his notebooks is gonna break. Like seriously, I brought this up last time, but this guy's nipples must be made of steel after not being able to sense that. Because of the dirt you dug up. What? Enough obscurity. Explain yourself, witness. What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course. The poison? Let's ask the professor for a comment on the situation, shall we? I understand that deadly poison were developed from was stolen from your laboratory, correct? I'll be shown that this poison was administered to the victim, Miss Brett. Is that right? That's correct. The unusual constriction of the victim's pupils are a sure sign of this particular poison was used. I see. So presumably that means that the victim already had the poison in her body before she was stabbed. Given that her pupil is clearly constricted, it seems highly likely, yes. If she had been dead already, the poison would have not circulated in her body. Ah, how refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind. Precisely. It matters not just who stabbed whom in whose back and with whose blade. Because, quite simply, the Englishwoman's life was taken not by the knife, but the poison. But that can be explained by the poison being on the blade. Yeah, there was no poison on the blade. Forgotten already, have we? During those proceedings, the laboratory of the professor at your side assisted in providing that the blade of the weapon used to attack the victim had no trace of poison on it whatsoever. So, let me get this down. The facts are skillfully established by the defense in this trial. Turns out to be a headline-making red herring. Is that about right? I more or less already got what's going on here. It was poison in the pen. I don't know how she got it in her body, but I know where it was stored. And as long as we know where it was stored, we know who actually had it. But where does this leave us? How, in that case, did the poison enter the victim's body? There's an undeniable obvious answer to that. The lady most likely imbibed... What? Wait, hold on. imbibed. Imbibed? You mean she drank it? Have another look at the photograph here, as you can see. A bottle of carbonated water and a glass had been knocked onto the sandy floor of the beach hut. The poison would have been slipped into either. Probably the same way as his hand just is covered in blood, in ink. Well, what do you think now? What do you know now? You know, look at those dashing eyes. This will make a great front page shoot. Hey, why the bewitching stare? After all, I'm the last person you should be looking at. It would make no sense at all that I poisoned a woman, would it? I mean, that's been established already. Established? What are you talking about? Hmm? Don't tell me you've forgotten. A little hard to believe, given that the person who established it was you. Huh? Oh, let me capture those wide eyes. This is a prime press folder, this is. It would seem that this trial is not destined to end yet, after all. I hereby call upon the witness to give further testimony. That's great, that is. Let me get a shot of that magnificent beard, Your Excellency. You claim to be impossible that you were the one responsible for administering the poison to the victim. You will explain to the court in your testimony the basis upon which you make such a claim. I'm a journer, and I'm a man. I've never tried to run from and hide from anything in my life. I'm not about to start now. That's because of many memoism. Jesus, that word is gonna kill me. Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman, and it's a very fact that proves I'm innocent. Because why would I bother to stab the woman if I'd already poisoned her? When I heard a student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, I got my goat. If the court weren't going to punish Brett for what she did, someone else would have seen the justice done. Yeah, but that's the thing. If he knew about the girl knowing about the poison and probably stop it somehow, then perhaps he would have tried to. So he might just have stabbed her to more or less just fool or something. That everything happened as described. That you are the one who stabbed Miss Press in the back through the read screen. You can blame this miserable country of yours. A country that bows to pressure of foreign powers and let murders walk free. What kind of future can a country like that have? That's why I did it. I did what our pathetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap bang in the middle of a charming lady's back. Plunge the blade of sweet justice right in there. Yeah, that's actually kind of... I think I discussed that last time, because here they are so afraid to actually pointing at a British person to be a murderer, because it's literally like, yeah, we don't want this this trade of ours and the alliance of ours to fail, so we're gonna let her go and you can take her and we're not gonna say anything about this. But when this guy was more or less just pointed as a murderer in Britain, they literally was like, yeah, he's not British, absolutely is a bloody murderer. And like, oh great, okay, so while we have a literally public public courtroom in Britain pointing finger at this guy, we have a secret one here for the British person, because we don't want anyone to know about it. Like, what the fuck? But as it turns out, there was somebody else who had it in for the victim and got her before me. That pretty little student girl. Now there's a woman after my own heart. You're implicating Ray again. She's the one who gave the poison to the English woman, and ended her pitiful existence. Well, suddenly snap. This journal here is off the hook. The argument is sound, certainly. If the witness had administered the poison himself, he need only have waited for it to take effect. Substantially, stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely nonsensical.
And therefore, this reporter had nothing to do with the poisoning. Yes, this is quite logical.
That's right, it is. Logical and true. I'm glad you all seen the light. Justice at last.
This is unbelievable. And after I've made so much progress in proving his guilt, is he going to get away with it now? Think of Kazuma-sama and Naruto-san. They never stopped looking for a way forward until the judge's final gavel.
Very well, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final cross-examination in this trial. Okay. Like normal, press everything. I literally had to cheat in the beginning of the stream because for some reason I couldn't get my head to around what was going on. I literally had the pen and I knew about the pen, and for some reason I was like, I'm trying to figure out how I can put you at where you were, but I never managed to actually believe I was supposed to put him inside the goddamn hut. The woman's very existence suffered my sense of justice.
Your sense of... It's claiming some sort of righteous indignation. Ingestion, something.
She was pure evil and cold-blood killer who'd committed murder right here in our empire's soil. With our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance. So I had to step in. Oh, hold on. My eye. Oh. Fly the flag of justice. Put things right for the people. Yes. It was my civic duty that was drove me to do it.
So in summary, murderous intentions then?
Whatever you want to call it, the point is this. That Englishwoman was a Blythe, so I had to do what was right for society.
Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in the dock, a crime for which she must pay.
Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me at all. Yeah, and that's what we need to prove now.
Hold it!
So you still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim?
Obviously. I'll be putting a belt on your trousers when you were already wearing braces. Braces like these. That's what it's called. Okay. I didn't fully know that because we call it hängslen. So I didn't really knew what it actually was called in English.
An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. That crime rests on the accused's shoulder. That is how the law works, you see, Yoko.
I do love this guy just jumps in and takes the spotlight. Oh, Jesus. 2 consecutive attempts on her life in the space of minutes. Quite a day for the victim. It's do something not evil and you got it coming. That's how the law works. The law of reckoning.
That's not the kind of law this court upholds.
You will reiterate why you were compelled to stab the victim then, witness. When I heard a student girl... oh, I already read this. That's a bit of a rule I have. I don't just do voices for things I already read because that's gonna be absolutely ridiculous.
What exactly were they arguing about?
About what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago, that's what. The student girl was laying... how many pens does he actually have? I just realized that. Like, bloody hell. The student girl was laying into the English woman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson. Ah, yes, John H. Wilson, a professor of medicine, invited her from England by Professor Mikotobak, no less. Right. But the Englishwoman just jeered.
Her case was to be heard by the British consul and court in Shanghai. However, there's little doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland free woman.
He was eating that student girl up inside, you could see it. I really felt for her.
And this is why we press.
Who just... Yeah, of course she came in here. I thought it was more than her.
I can't. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe. Young girl, you stand accused. You can just blur out whenever you feel like it.
No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of something very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen.
But this awful man is making all of this up.
Return to the dock at once, Membami-san. We're in the middle of a cross-examination.
Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not trustworthy witness. Exactly, he's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted bigoted. What is a bigoted? Dirty, great peeping Tom.
Whoa, take it easy there.
Please, I really think the court should hear what the defense has to say. Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused's remark.
I will grant the request of the defense.
But, Your Excellency...
This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. As such, I believe it would be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious concerns. So, while it's recognizing that this controversy is regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendants to speak.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stole poison.
Yeah, I know that because he did say that before. He did actually say they were actually discussing that someone stole the poison. And he literally changed that now to... yeah, but they just was starting to fight about the man she killed once before.
The poison that was... killed the victim, you mean? I suspect her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson.
Well, that's true. Additionally, Miss Breath certainly had knowledge of the new poison. But surely it would be no easy task to steal highly secret toxin being developed for the government. Oh, indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they are leaving. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. That's true. I pressed Professor Mikotobak until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his laboratory. But as I left, I was searched from top to tail. Miss Breath rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. And since Soseki-san expressed such interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. Obviously, I gave nothing away other than the fact that it was extremely potent substance. I'm very ashamed of myself, it's just that I've had a singularity terrible experience with a deadly poison. I want to look at my old enemy in the eye. Surely you can understand that. I don't remember him being poisoned.
Has he?
I don't remember.
To find out the suspicious were true, I confronted Miss Pratt about the poison. I told her that if there were to be an incident involved it somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would be dragged into it. The whole government even. It would be a complete disaster.
How did Miss Brett respond to your concerns?
She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and said she didn't know the first thing about it, in English actually.
Oh yes, Mamimono-san, one small question if you don't mind. Oh, I don't mind. Can't you see I'm busy? Clearly, you were outside the beach hut listening in while the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably then, it was you who wrote this article about what you heard. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from a medical research laboratory. The story was published in this morning's edition of Show You News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else. Sorry, don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, look at this. The entire article. It's almost as what I said to Miss Brett word by word.
Is this guy stupid or what? I thought he wrote that because of the whole thing that happened inside of the university, but literally just write everything that happened while seeing everything. And also saying that, oh, no, they were just arguing about the guy being dead. Jesus, this dude. As a journal and as a citizen of a free country, I have to read my sources. That's a founding principle of many-memoism. I start to feel that the many-memoism is not a lifestyle, but a sickness he has.
That reporter did write an article, and he based it on what he overheard from the outside the hut.
Yes, okay, I think I know now.
So that's what it's all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in. That's why you came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her.
Hey, shut up! My stories never stink. Lou, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Like, you are sweating so much, mate. Like, something's definitely going on. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say, and I wanted to go on record. Very well. You may amend your formal testimony. Oh, Jesus, is about to literally snap now. Love it. The point is, if you poison someone, there would be no reason to... Okay, so I'm gonna do this first.
Perhaps you doubted the efficiency of the poison and sought to make sure the victim would die.
That's horse dog.
What?
That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you even tasted it. Completely reckless. Although it might surprise you to learn that I am a bit of an impetuous pepper pourer, as it happens. Okay, so it's not salty though. Fuck, I don't have that button up. All right, because my fucking voice mod is broken right now. Fuck, I would have done the fucking drums. Shit. I don't know what, like, I don't have voice mod on, so for some reason right now my voice mod just crashes whenever I started it, so I'm gonna see if I can fix that. So if you actually have any cards, by the way, do not play them because my voice mod doesn't work. Just telling you that now. I can make sure you get the card back, but just as you know. And yet this one. If it was the reporter who gave the poison to Miss Brett, then clearly it was her.
Yes, that's undeniable.
The reporter overheard a conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman. Ah, right. It would be like pepper, but that's the same. There's no question that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder. If you could think that plausible explain as why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I felt sure that everything would start and drop into place. Okay. Yes, I agree. Also, I don't know why I didn't do voices there. I just felt I needed to rest my throat a bit there. Also have something to drink. I'm gonna try to do the last one then. Okay.
Objection!
There we go. This is the right one. And yeah, so I have played a lot of these games, so I've learned whenever you present something and the music stops, then you're right. If it continues, you're fucked.
Well, I can think of one reason.
What?
But before I can explain, I'd like to confirm something for the court. Did you glean all the information of this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut?
Yeah, of course it did. There's been no question about that. After all, when we were all in the laboratory together, all we was told was terrible toxin.
And there's one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Membami-san, verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink.
Where are you going with this, counsel?
Menimemu-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant had somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it.
Which means that Miss Breath wouldn't have imbibed the poison while the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Membani-san entered the hut. Ah, yes, very articulately put.
When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison. At which point, Menimemu-san overheard some worrying information.
Worrying information? What worrying information?
The information which he subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy and that it couldn't be readily obtained.
Absolutely. In fact, that's quite an understatement. The only possible place it could come from is my lab.
And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs in death. The extreme constrictions of pupils, yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable. In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of a particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people.
Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deeds. Membami-san being no exception.
Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered the unique poison to the victim was a lay person unaware of its telltale properties.
Yeah, so when someone would have realized about the eyes, it was literally just like, oh fuck.
In other words, someone like you, Raiten Menimemo. It was you who stole the poison from the laboratory that day, and it was you who administered it unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that was a terrible mistake. Because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable. As you're listening from the far side of the beach hut, thin walls, you learn of the facts. But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan involving stabbing the victim in the back through the read screen.
But what good would that possibly do?
Isn't it obvious, counsel? The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison would take effect.
Once in the blood, the poison caused the onset of pupil constructions. But he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he?
Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would ever have suspected.
It's kind of fun. Everything just pointed to him. So first we pointed the knife towards him. And then it said that the knife doesn't do anything good because he was already poisoned. Yeah, and the poison is pointing at you. Jesus Christ. This guy.
Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would take too easily to identify. The killer had to mask its use, which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back.
Order, order. The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to up forward?
Well, there are a number of... I mean, yes. A counter completely.
Objection!
The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much of the same way he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to lost hope. Lost hope?
I'm guessing it's Manny Memo who is speaking. Oh, he is losing it. You pathetic, useless, fallen samurai. Fallen? Who are you calling fallen? I don't need a counter-argument.
What are you talking about?
It should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say. Give it to the victim, you say. Stabbed her, you say. Lots of fine theories. Okay, so it literally just slaps his hat on the floor. That was a bit anticlimactic, to be honest. But I don't need a counter-argument because you don't have an argument yourself. Where is your evidence? Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I, based on my news and facts... facts? What do you mean? Explain yourself. I mean what the professor said earlier in this trial. It's all here in my many memos. Every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Shuan News is famous for. It's the power of the printed words. No, he didn't snap his pencil this time. But surely it would be no easy task to steal it. Yeah. Yeah, thoroughly search, but do they search the ink? I don't think they search the ink, actually. How's that then? Blow the story wide open? See, I, Raiden Many Memo, I'm a reporter from the Show You News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's laboratory. Don't worry, I got this. I don't know in what order, but I know how it was done. Yeah, he did steal the poison. And if that's the case, as you have identified, the poison itself is very definitive evidence we need. Because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here. What's your point, you annoying handsome country bumpkin? My point is, there is one way that you, Memo-san, could have stolen the poison that day. I have heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. The court must be shown as evidence. Simple.
Take that!
The pen. Because it's empty, it doesn't have any ink. The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen. A fountain pen? How can that possibly be relevant? These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now. I swear by weasel hair, calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad. Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, I obviously love my fountain pen. Suck up the subcon. How the hell am I supposed to pronounce that? Subcon of sumptuous ink, and one work is awash with words in a blink of an eye. That's right. A fountain pen have a small reservoir in the barrel.
into which which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later. What does all this talking of sucking up ink have? Oh. And just as it's possible to suck up ink up in a reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course.
My words, can this really be? He should have really have hold on to that pen.
When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir.
Objection!
More absurdity. That never happened.
True, we've heard that we heard that there were procedures in place to prevent thefts like this from the laboratory. But would anyone have thought of looking inside a fountain pen of all places?
No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such detailed search would not have been conducted. Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. Well, by the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Memo-san. So the crucial point is, when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that in your haste to act while the victim was distracted for a moment, you dropped the pen after you emptied the poison into their glass. There could be many number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
Objection!
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink? What? As you can see for yourself if you examine the evidence, it would appear there be no ink presented in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison was filtered. And its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense? So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps? Jesus, fucking Wolverine right now. Yo, hi there. I can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. I do love I made a Wolverine joke and he literally says I will claw my way back into the game. Are you serious? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Where did all the pen go? Hello? You claim I sucked up the poison into my pen. That's a valid speculation, nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again. Looks though I'm going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon that whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. And therefore, it all depends upon whether or not the defense can prove that he did with evidence. No such evidence could possibly exist.
It does. Memo-san, this is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In our courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you wouldn't do well to remember. Because we're well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you.
Very well then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence. god, my throat, Jesus. Oh, holy crap, I've done 2 hours. Ah yeah, we have the evidence, because it was given to us before. The regent, chemical regent. Council, what is that bottle?
This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Yes, the poison is an entirely new synthetic of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to take traces of it by any other methods.
Or for another perspective, simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison. One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, memo, is all will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt.
No.
Your crimes are bad enough, but at least know when to admit defeat. Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry out a test on the fountain pen at once.
Oh, holy shit. This is... Oh, jeez, I cannot read this. It's too fucking fast. Yo, what the hell is Is it going faster and faster? It's going faster and faster. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, they're doing the throw. Okay. So I more or less felt that one before, because they did that to... She did that to me in the last game a few times.
It was clear that to everyone present.
Oh, he looks defeated. When I saw there in the... When I saw it there in the lab, the poison, the devil got hold of me and I decided to do it on a whim. I excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir out clearly.
And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, did you? Into your fountain pen.
Yes, that's right. Answer me one thing, Memo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose? Isn't it obvious to find out what it was made of and expose it in an article? I mean, it was a secret project after all, too juicy for a journal like me to pass up. So, he has done like 2 kinds of murder, technically 1, but 2 kinds, and stealing. Jesus.
Then why did the English woman end up dead?
I went into that hut intending to quiz her on her situation, that's all, as a reporter. I know a killer enjoying a fully freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it. And she just laughed in my face.
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism. Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
Jesus. What did you call me?
This country, with its pretensions to justice systems, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see, our superior way in the West, yet you lack... You see, our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Get out of here, you oaf. Get out and crawl back to the game you came from.
Like, Jesus, I remember her being like this in the first game as well. Holy shit. She was both roasting and salting the whole country and just made a meal out of it. That's when I remembered about the deadly poison that I happened to have in my pen at the time. What a terrible tale. In my head, I knew I was just going to get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done. She clearly had no remorse at all. I suppose it was my journal spirit, getting all fired up. But at least this guy was sure he murdered someone, was like everyone else I get the feeling of that did something either did it by mistake because of the nervous guy's thing when someone was stabbed in the back, or laugh itself off. I'm trying to like remember which was the last guy. Yeah, even the guy who danced was like just wasn't depressed. Was just literally no. He actually probably got that, but he didn't really have like a reason. It was more or less just like, yeah, I'm crooked because I fucking like it. This guy is literally just hated her so much. I don't even think he hated her for calling him like a bad journalist or something. He just hated her because she knows what she's done and she would do it again because she wouldn't fucking care. There's no justice in the press. Sorry? After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what happened in that courtroom. And finally I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up, that's what it was.
A cover-up? What do you mean?
I was reminded of your position, witness. Be careful what you say. Oh, come on, it doesn't strike you as strange. We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national. Consulant jurisdiction should never have come into it. And yet that puffed-up English woman was going to sail off into the sunset a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes some deal has gone down between Britain and Japan. And that's probably true because we did have a little telegram from between Japan and Britain about our dead friend Dr. Wilson and probably Brett as well. I don't know, I don't remember really.
What sort of deal?
I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt, and it was ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up. He came under pressure from the government, you mean? If our government is going to let criminals walk free, if they're going to crush the free press, then what choice do I have than to see justice done myself? Let us easily say, I'm not gonna say good, like it's good what he did and all that with the whole murder thing, but it actually has a fucking point with the whole, yeah, you know what, we're just gonna cover this up, no one needs to know. Yes, someone did die, but like, fuck it.
That you committed murder yourself and you tried to lay the blame on the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Jesselyn Brett.
Oof, that was probably a low for him.
The truth is you have no right to talk about justice at all.
I suppose. It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. A counsel for the defense, Ryotaro Naruto. You have forgotten that's your name?
Yes, sorry, Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here.
In a manly way, what the hell? It's also almost unbelievable that this is your first experience of Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very reminded me of your cousin's exploit.
Oh, Naruto, Ryunosuke, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago, and the way you handled this one. It gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land.
Yeah, well, perhaps in a way. We managed to actually find out she was the killer, but did something happen with that? No! So perhaps half of the jury, like, fucking juridical system is high up here, but the rest is down low by the ass. Absolutely shit.
Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel mostly keen. And the future of your justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries. Hold on. Contemporaries, what the fuck? Thank you. So, Prosecutor Ouchie, do you have any final thoughts? So, yes, what the fuck is that? So, yeah, for those who doesn't actually know, I am Swedish. I'm half British, but I have lived in Sweden for all my life. So there are some words I have never seen, nor ever tried to pronounce. Or that someone wanted to call me once. I'm Swedish. Each time I hear someone that is Swedish on stream, I can more or less not stop thinking about that and more or less want to call them that as well. I don't know why. It's just it was so funny. We're just being called Swedish. Like, yeah, that's something. What is it gonna do? What is that? I, Takasuchi Outen of the Ouchi clan, have been bested by callow youth. Not once now, but twice. There was only a shred of my former self left. It would have been withered and died here today. Gosh, your journey to cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it? Silence! What is that? Rather living... Ooh, what the This is... The worst part is that last game we played, someone had a gun to his fucking head all the time. Because that was his best way of dealing with shit. But this is a true path of the Ouchism. I am guessing just because that he's gonna cut that little top of his. Also, I managed to see a miss they did on the texture of his hair, because a bit of his hair actually has the texture of his skin. In hopes of that the only way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness. Do you see that, by the way? On his outer hair, there's like some skin color left there. Well, that's shit like that happens. Spring off my top knot. The time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. He's gonna cut his goddamn bun off. Yeah, F for the hair. They even do a prayer. They even do a prayer for his hair. Oh my god. This game is so... I do love this game. This game though, I love it. They all are making a prayer for his hair. Oh my god. And also welcome home, viewer, to the stream I'm holding. I would have done more or less my half normal voice whenever I notice someone's here, but like my throat, Jesus. Yes, Your Excellency. I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. It was a long time ago. Is it gonna still be the... Yeah! Sakura pedals. I like this one, actually. I would prefer this one than the British one, where it's literally just like a lot of confetti and goddamn fireworks. There's no question the car from the first game actually caught on fire after that. Court is adjourned. Yay, we did it. How long is it left? Is there like 30 minutes left? So we're capable, if it doesn't take too long, this one, to check upon the other one as well. It's over. Oh, my heart is still pounding my chest, though. It's all I can do just to stay standing. Also, I kind of want to... Can I do... Oh, right. What the fuck is it? I'd never noticed that mouse before. Is that a part of the costume? I never saw that mouse on the costume. What the fuck? I need to see that. That's adorable. What is that? technically, Susato has a costume as well, but I turned it off because I wanted to see how she actually masqueraded herself, because she's not supposed to be here. No woman is supposed to be here. Ray, and father. Honestly, I'm so touched by everything. I don't know, I think I'm going to cry. It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end too. The only reason I'm still here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credits. The courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have said that the congratulations belong to you. Susato, don't be so standoffish. Sorry? We're friends, equals. The trial is over, so no more of this formal super humility nonsense. Yeah, no problem, Turtle Girl. See you next time. What is the name? Ah, it's Murdered. I'm gonna do Murdered Soul Suspect on Thursday. So yeah, have a great evening, Turtle Girl. Caution to the... What? Yeah, I kinda missed that as well. I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryotaro Naruto. Jesus. Doing that voice and doing the R's doesn't really work. I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something. Right, I see. I'll think about it, Ray. At any rate, we really knocked the wind out there out of that horrid man. And it felt so good. Yes, it was satisfying. It really was. Is there anybody else we could throw together? I do love she looks at him. I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. Oh my goodness. No, of course not. Of course not. She just wants to throw people now? Okay. Well, that's great for her. You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense attorney Ryotaro Naruto. Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryotaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotobak for now. And yes, I say Mikotobak because tobak is tobacco in Swedish. So I'll never see him again then? What a terrible shame. Oh, right, they never realized. They never realized that actually they know us. They know us because they know who we are. We have met before. What is happening? Oh, Sasaki-san and Inspector Honosaga. I do hope you've been keeping well. Is that really you? Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons. I hope, but it's me. Susato Mikotobak. I don't... No! Oh, I still have the costume on, right? I had no idea, Mrs. Sato-san Esquire, that you were a locum student Noraodo-san Esquire's cousin. Poor Sasaki-san, so confused. Yeah, this was the first time and last time we met him. What an extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself in. But after Naruto-san's skillful defense at the Old Baileys, Sasaki-san was free to return to Japan. And now he seems to have earned himself a great favor as an author. I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm the chief inspector at the police bureau who came up with the term, Mr. Turtle, no less. Also, don't question why he is bleeding from his mouth. He has done that the whole bloody game. I'm not even talking about this game, I'm talking about the last game. And that was like 8 months ago. I'm not sure you should be admitting that, Inspector. Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just 2, really. And this was a once in a lifetime event, I hope. I'm not a patch on you though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course. Except I realize who you are each time you just show your goddamn face.
I do worry about Inspector Hunasaga sometimes, I really do.
I worry about whatever sickness he has. It's not good coughing up blood. But if he's still alive after 8 months, I guess something good out of it. Alright, he asked the captain about something and got pummeled. Yeah, Kazuma died in the first game. He was technically a guy who was supposed to go to Japan, but no, in Britain, I mean. The British Empire, but we had to take over. From my perspective, I had to admit that I have mixed feelings about this. I mean, now that the truth has been lost forever. What do you mean? I'm talking about the murder that the English woman committed at the end of last year. Oh, yes. It was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it. Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead, we probably never know the answer.
On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter with a Mr. Sherlock Holmes. The great detective, I mean.
Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course. Ah, my arch nemesis, how lightly you utter his name.
Well, according to the stories published about him in the Adventure of Sherlock Holmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes as a best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson. What? Dr. Wilson? I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been a friend of a partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true...
Yeah, this is probably the telegram. Oh, and also, yeah... Fuck, wait, she doesn't fucking know! We learned that her father is literally Dr. H. Wilson. And... yeah, we couldn't tell her. Because we were a bit uncertain as well, but we just couldn't. As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born.
Yes, great-grandmother told me about it.
On returning to Japan, I took my professorship at the Imperial Yuma University. But I also served another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I'm aware of that as well.
In that case, I sure you understand there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge you to. You know something, don't you?
Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan?
Oh, right. You're healthy as a fickle or whatever you say. He was called back because he said he was like sick.
It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram arrived from Japan. It said that you had collapsed with a high fever and you were growing weaker by the day. What? Where did that news come from? That's what I like to know, because after that long sea voyage I found you in fine health, Father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way or harm me? That's really the only explanation I can think of.
Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear, I can... Holy shit. At the same time, he did say he had the truth about some stuff. I guess he wants to tell it. Hi, mini memo.
So, the throw wasn't enough for you.
I got one last thing to say before they take me away, Professor. Me. I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? A Jesuit breath. No, not her. The student of law who left Great Britain 8 months ago.
Did they kill Kazuma? What the fuck? What are you talking about? What does that have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Also, I do love that this guy doesn't really give a shit about me looking like a woman. Or have I taken off the costume yet? I don't think I have. I might still look like a person. Sorry, I look like a male. I look like a guy. Sorry, why did they go to person? Even women are persons. Fucking hell, I'm getting knackered. Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England. That he died on the steamship. Oi, Judge, he was supposed to tell me something. If he was going to do something, we would have done it. You are absolutely about. Well, I didn't expect to find him in here. What were your officers playing at? Terribly sorry, Your Excellency. Okay. Fasha, do you have anything to say? I was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Eugene. And this good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him. I'll be there shortly.
Oh, Your Excellency.
The trial's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. I'm merely your father's friend, Seijiro Yugoku. And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken a more dashing appearance. You fucking knew. The bastard knew.
Did you know all along, from the start of the trial?
Judge sees everything, Susato. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seijiro here hadn't known, then he'd recognize you. So he had a word in his ear beforehand as an old friend. So, Seijiro, shall we? Yes, having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
Before you go, Father.
Sorry, my dear. We shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. But well done again, both of you. You did admirably. Fucking hell. Me and English words. What do you think of my Seishiro sling, eh? It was like a wild ass and sent a man flying like that.
Whatever could Father be hiding from me? About Jesuit Brett, about Dr. Wilson. And now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime. When nobody else is around.
You really got Assistant Miko Tobak, San Esquire. Could I have a word?
Oh yes, of course, Sasaki-san. What is it?
I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again. Like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you.
Oh.
I believe that I may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England.
Oh. Please, Sasaki-san, tell me one.
I will. As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. So an awful thing I was embroiled in. Thank goodness Locum student Naruhodo's son Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experience to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Miko Tobak. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report.
My father?
He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent a telegram asking you to return to Japan.
What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in?
Yeah, I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? Those two horrible cases I was caught up in.
Of course, I could never forget.
Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case.
The second one, you mean the one Mrs. Shums forbade any of us to talk about in public?
Which is the second? Which is why the only involving you that any member of the public is aware of is the first. Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Yeah, anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, hideous, hench's case. The case of the haunting lodgings.
Well, this must be a case I've not heard about before. That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgent back to Japan. I thought the whole business was over, but it seems that was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told.
I only know of the first case, I think, which someone believed he stabbed someone in the back, but it appeared to have been a mistake.
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter.
I'm coming to visit.
I met Sosek-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved
I'm pretty
mystery.
certain we're gonna know more about the second thing
My notes on the case
later.
should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might
The
like to look
second
over them
case.
again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue.
I'm trying to figure out which was the second case and which was the
Makes me
first.
long to see you again.
Because I'm pretty certain the first one was with the
Yours,
knife.
Susato.
But if it's not, then I'm pretty certain they didn't have another case with it. I don't know. I actually don't know. So there's 20 minutes left, so I'm actually gonna continue. I'm gonna continue a bit. I'm gonna at least start and see where we go with all this. But, so that was, this is the first, this is the second, the Clouded Kokoro. The memories of Clouded Kokoro. No wait, the memories of Clouded Kokoro. I'm pretty certain the second case is the one with the knife. Is it not? Because the first case I'm pretty certain is called the Clouded Kokoro. But this is the memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. That's interesting. That's interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna fix something here. There we go. I'm gonna fix this now. Because as I said, I want to see how she looked like trying to look like a guy. But she technically has a costume, so I'm gonna turn on the costume. So this is how she's gonna look in the rest of the game. And this is how I actually do have a mouse on my shoulder. I didn't notice that. That's an adorable little mouse, that thing. So I'm gonna start this one and see where this take us. It actually looks like the same place, like the street and everything.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, The mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern exchange student from his harrowing plight, than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Oh, so it was something after that.
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture.
Oh, I know that bloody dude.
Of the curtain on a most tragic play.
I know that dude. We met him actually at the Clouded Kokoro case. Just like for a, I don't know, a hot second, literally. And then he just disappeared. I thought he would be probably the murderer or something, because often the weird looking people are actually the murderer. For example, in the last case, where one of the dancing most handsome man at the place that didn't care a shit about anyone actually was. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made a long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. So this is Naruto, which I use my voice for, because holy shit! On the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made an acquaintance of the world-famous detective. This is a little cozy place. Currently I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultant of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court of the Old Bailies, but since a particularly grueling and unforgivable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom in truth. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale, a tale that which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to the letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. So that is Susato's letter. Yeah, because the guy was trying to sell secret information, and they thought it was a bit odd because though it was Morse code, no one could actually read it. But our little friend, you will meet sooner or later here, did actually manage to read it because she realized it was in Japan, or Japanese Morse code. And they realized there was a lot of name we knew about, like Kazuma-sama, Dr. Wilson, and some other people. And we started to realize like something is going on here, because that guy has been dead for a long time, and just before our friend died, Wilson died. So that's more or less what's going on with the whole epic tale. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I'd better go and see what Mr. Sholmes' suit. I'm gonna say hi, good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Little Iris. Oh fuck, my voice with Iris, Jesus. Just realized that now. The 3rd of August. The 7:28 a.m. Sholmes' suit.
Ah, Runo! Good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Oh, bacon. Fuck, I have to buy bacon. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. Shh. Not another word, Miss Naruhodo. This could be just a abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation-repelling mental stimulation, my dear fella. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. I do love it. It's literally like he's so used to it, he just says good morning. Fucking hell, could you please back up? You're scaring me. Ah, yes, I see. That's it. The truth is clear to me as day. My faculties of observation has revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Miss Naruto, have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fella, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Well, thank you for that. Often my hair is actually like a bird nest. Well, I don't know really, but I think there actually is a game I used to play where it actually was a bird's nest. It was kind of a good and half shitty game, to be honest, because it's fucking difficult to play. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point of you to have been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course, of course. I thought I don't look for admiration, you understand? My hair has always looked like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has. And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you. Hurley pulled your bottom off? Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after the supper, was it not? As the evening advances, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. By then, my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did I have to happen? Why? Little wonder then, at my in vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, I presume. It's troublesome that you ask me that. I believe you know where I am. Where it is? Like, what the fuck? What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was an erring. Ugh. Sorry, I just... Ugh.
Hardly, Runo said he was where it... when he came in, didn't he?
Sorry, I just started to feel a bit off, so I just felt like not trying to do voices right now. I guess it's good I'm gonna end stream soon. Should I do it earlier? I don't know, it just came from nowhere, like, oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna do that, I guess. Just because I feel a bit... I just started feeling... I don't know, it just came from nowhere. It has been like that a few times now. It's not like I'm just starting to feel sick. It's just like... Yeah, I don't know. It just feels uncanny for some fucking reason. I know it might just be something small, but like, it's better to not force myself. Also, I'm rather knackered right now, I feel, so